Hello everyone, my name is Rita Brown and I'm the President of the Australian BPD Foundation, and I'm honoured to be chosen as this year's BPD or Borderline Personality Disorder Awareness Week Ambassador. I am speaking to you today from the lands of the Wurundjeri people of the Kulin Nation in the eastern suburbs of Melbourne, and I wish to acknowledge the traditional owners of the lands where I live, work and play, and also from where you may be viewing this. I pay my respect to their elders, past, present and emerging. I also wish to acknowledge the experiences of those living with BPD and those who support them, family, friends, supporters, carers. Their voices are essential to the development of our work. We recognise their vital contribution at all levels and value the courage of those who share this unique perspective for the purposes of learning and growing together to achieve better outcomes for all. Unfortunately, diagnostic labels often provide seriously inaccurate and completely inappropriate ways to describe a person's experiences. The label is being used to represent a group of people who struggle with interpersonal and intrapersonal relationships, i.e. with others and with themselves, and often find it challenging to manage overwhelming emotions and to self-regulate distress. Some people with BPD describe themselves as being very sensitive to others around them and sensitive to certain environmental factors too. This can be very distressing for the person and for those close to them. BPD is highly stigmatised. People living with BPD often report the experience of discrimination, and sadly that discrimination often comes from the health services that are supposed to support them. People with BPD also describe experiencing shame and self-stigma. For the last 3 years, the BPD Awareness Week campaigns have used a strength-based approach to deliver facts and to change the external and self-narrative around the words and the diagnosis of borderline personality disorder. This year's campaign theme of Discover Creative Wellbeing aims to fill a perceived gap in treatment programs where a person's complex sense of self-stigma and negative self-narrative is often overlooked. Creativity can also act as a bridge to support those more formal therapies. In addition, how can we as family, friends, service providers help people living with BPD to build that bridge to reach their full potential and create a meaningful life? The campaign has a three-pronged approach. Firstly, for people experiencing the symptoms of BPD, thinking outside the traditional verbal therapy and considering other creative methods of expression and communication. Creative therapies like art therapy, music, volunteering and study. Pets can play a valuable role here as well. We know the unconditional love of a pet helps us to feel present and grounded, and can sometimes be helpful when we're feeling anxious or distressed. Taking care of pets helps to remind us to take care of ourselves as well. Taking a dog for a walk or gardening, for example, have the added component of exercise and getting fresh air. Body-based activities such as yoga, dance, various sports and trampolining can play an important role for many as well. Secondly, for families, friends, carers, supporters, I encourage you to consider more creative ways to approach well-being, both for yourself and for the person you are supporting. Spend time doing things that you both enjoy together that is separate to the caring role. Have you stopped doing something you love because you believe that you can love someone back into wellness? This can have a negative impact we can become tired, overwhelmed and resentful. A healthy balance is essential. Also, demonstrating your own good self-care can act as a positive role model for the person you're supporting. Remember, people are not defined by a diagnosis. This is your child, partner, parent, sibling, friend, first and foremost, who experiences the distress of living with BPD. Thirdly, for those working with people living with BPD, I urge you to consider a paradigm shift. If the care you are providing appears not to be helping, this does not mean that the person is non-compliant or treatment resistant. It means that what you're offering is not suitable for that person. I encourage services and healthcare providers to reconsider what they are currently offering, which is usually the standard 2 chairs in a room and verbal therapy box, and develop ways to respond creatively with greater emphasis on developing an approach which supports positive therapeutic relationships. Encouraging expression and communication in creative ways, songwriting, music, poetry, letter and journal writing, and non-verbal communications such as streets or prompt cards. The value of art therapy in supporting people living with BPD is well researched overseas. The recognition of the importance and value of peer support is rapidly expanding. Planning for BPD Awareness Week 2021 is well underway, and while we await the refreshing of the materials on the BPD Awareness website, you can follow updates on our social media. Thanks for watching.